Yo, you gotta type it in the search bar and you gonna scroll down, you gonna see a guy wearing a black shirt with a phone in his hand. Like the YouTube search bar. Man, most of them niggas out about this, all they do. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the clip there. He was showing that he was outballing me. That's the other clip. He did it throughout the whole game. Them the two clips that I ain't no saving. Like, come on, man, nigga, you at me and you doing that shit, cuz it ain't that serious, man, nigga. I should. You don't see it on the thing when you click on my channel. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I locked his ass up last time I played. Yeah, no, I don't got Bobo shit. No, I don't got him. We got the Kings, we got him. I don't think so. Yeah, but I didn't think the what's call was working though. That nigga Gary Trent. Who knocks? Yeah. Holy shit, I'm bullshit. And I was doing that last time. What he started doing, he started running a play where he got him off the screen and tried to use a blow by animation. That play right there, that's what he'll do, some shit like that. And what I'm doing, I'm just giving him space where giving the option he can shoot it or not. He ain't that good of a shooter. God damn. Yeah. See, like once you put the ball in front, it's like that little space that just give them. Like what kind of shit is that, my nigga? They don't want to play moderate on us. I don't know why I'm playing tight on them any damn way. Like he catching and shooting. The fuck? I got DJ on him. Man, shit like that. They're too OP, cuz. They're too OP. They better than most of the damn stars in the damn league. Like that was some bullshit. Like no way he should be dunking like that, my nigga. The guy I just shot with, shit too. Yeah, because you a help defender. No, yeah, I don't mind that. It's when you sit on that motherfucking defender before I even made my damn drive. That's my only issue with that. Cause you can't be doing that shit. Basically, on CPU trying to like, you know how I clicked off as soon as he blew by me. What he was doing last game, I guess he don't want to do it now since I was streaming. He would sit on the defender as I was starting to play up, having the CPU guard me. Yeah, he got an 85 3-pointer. Guess he can't defend. He get up on me, I'm blow by me at time. There you go. Yeah, yeah, he made a couple versus me. There you go. Ah, bitch, I haven't made no type of threes so far. Some rookie I signed. Got him. He got like a 90 speed with ball, and he had like a 89 lateral. Defense was good, so I couldn't pass up on him. Bitch, if you don't dunk that shit, nigga. This shit, yo, that's 1-0. Tripping. Memphis. That I do not know. Yeah, it's like he do the same thing. It's like just drive and try to get this blow by, and then we help you try to kick it out or some shit like that. It would be wide though. I don't know, cause I think he probably would have chose a team like Miami or something instead of just Phoenix, especially since he probably made the league. Yeah, I was going this damn bench, killing his bench. He put his starters back in. He ended up playing them dinner the whole second half. Yeah, I hate this shit right now. They're not even looking. Y'all want to get in there. Oh shit. Yeah. I can't make nothing with this nigga pocket. Like, come on. Mine to lose the ball like that. He gets that shit in. Yeah. I'm out another foul, my nigga. Yeah, that's why I'm about to start Sandarowski this game. George Hill too small. Yo, I didn't. I remember seeing the check somebody Boston saying, but that the Celtics was supposed to be the GAD team or shit like that. Yeah. Another league. I mean, I'm not sure. I hit them up because they made it yesterday. So I did that team show had first pick. Yeah, Fortnite, where is it? Like the Hunger Games. It's like the Hunger Games. It be 10. Yup. He gets that shit in. Fuck out of here. Yeah. Stop. Right there. Fuck, man. I'm expecting that. There's no L1. Oh, you got that player. I'm about to sack off this nigga's screen. Man! Turn up's gonna be your fucking downfall. Man, he just threw the ball out of bounds, cuz. That's what I'm gonna do. Since he got whites on the perimeter, why not just fucking steal the damn ball? Man, he just leave him wide open. You don't leave him wide open. Come on. Trash. Stop.
Well, one of the biggest question mark coming into this series was what would the role players do? Right. And in different games, game number one, the collective, the role players, Tristan, Jeff Green, those players, they showed up. JR, they showed up big in game number one. In game number two, the star showed up, and that means Kevin Love. LeBron finally got the all-star that all of us have come accustomed to seeing. Now, we didn't expect Kevin Love when Kyrie left for his game to go backwards. We thought, and it was portions during the regular season, we thought Kevin Love, this was the best basketball that he had played since coming over from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, he had went through recently, especially in the playoffs, the worst stint of basketball that we saw him. He came out of it last night. And LeBron said in the press conference that Kevin Love had a look on his face as if he was in the zone and he was demanding the basketball. So they went to a lot of sets that where LeBron and Kevin Love were on the same side of the court, where LeBron knew they weren't going to double team him. They did a lot like Boston did in the first game against Philadelphia, where they passed the ball till they got the matchup they wanted, which was Kevin Love, and they just kept force feeding. And Kevin Love took advantage of that. And then LeBron, after seeing that, and then the game kind of got a level set. The energy initially he knew would be there. Toronto played a good first half. Then LeBron decided to take over. And at that point, he played the game, and his shot making, I would say, was either one of the top three games as far as the difficult
He
shots
gets this shit in.
that he decided to take and the ones that he made. I mean, it was a brilliant performance from him offensively. So, Kevin Love, this will be game two. Will be the
Man, he
game
lose the ball again.
Kevin Love, because people had given up on him, but his teammates and a few other people, they hung in there with him. They kept him at the 5 starting lineup.
Man, he just
giving him that overall confidence.
he didn't want to
be there.
What his teammates told him. And I was telling Nick last night on the phone, man, Kevin Love's teammates like him. Kevin Love is a good guy. He works hard, fits his role within the team very well. And LeBron mentioned it later on with Dwayne Casey and his role as a defensive assistant for Dallas. It forced LeBron in to be able to make these type of shots because that bad performance that he had in the finals against the Dallas Mavericks.
Listen, your points on Kevin Love are well-founded. When we were on the phone last night, one of the funny things you said is, the Raptors playing so bad, they're going to make the Cavs a contender again. Getting everyone back on track, getting the Kevin Love back on track, getting everyone back on track. But while the Kevin Love part of this was important for the Cavs long-term, important for the Cavs in the next round, very important for the Cavs no matter who they will end up playing.
Man, fuck this shit, cuz.
The story of this game turned into what LeBron did in quarters 2 through 4. Because after quarter 1, didn't look like we were going to have any type of special LeBron game. He waited. Kevin Love took 8 shots in the first quarter.
Was that intentional? Do you think that was LeBron's game plan? Come in, get the other guys involved before I do anything?
Absolutely intentional. And then LeBron realized, my shot's falling tonight. And when that happens, good luck, good night, no matter who you're playing, much less if you're playing a team that you have beaten 5 consecutive road playoff games. 5 times in a row in their building in the playoffs. You've won 8 in a row in the playoffs overall. And so what LeBron was doing last night, to steal a line from one of my favorite writers, Josh Everly of Hoop Mag, he was Kobe's shot selection with Shaq efficiency numbers. He was taking absurd shots, still shooting close to 70% for the game. And so what we had last night was a guy who somehow is at the peak of his powers, controlling a playoff game, unlike, and I can't believe I'm saying this, we've ever seen him control a playoff game. LeBron has never contributed more points as far as scoring and assists in a playoff game in his NBA career. What about on the defensive end? Guys guarded by LeBron James last night shot 11% from the field. He tied his career high in playoff assists. He was 2 points off his career high in playoff points. If we just drop the threshold, he had 43, 8, 14. If we drop the threshold to 40, 8, and 11, make it a little more rounder numbers, a little easier. Show America the full list of times that's happened in playoff history. Take LeBron out of it. It happens once every 25 years. Jerry West in 69, Drexler in 92, Russ last year. LeBron has done it in 2015, in 2016, in 2017, and last night. The total full control of the basketball game, unlike anything we've seen from him, which means unlike anything we've seen from almost anyone ever.
And aren't we tired of sort of asking how he's doing this at age 33, at this deep into his career, without help basically from everyone else around him, how he continues to do it? We're almost tired of asking because we expect it of him. Because on the nights when he has 30 points, we're like, oh, it's an off night for LeBron James.
Yeah, well, he's never been able to shoot the basketball as well as he's shooting the basketball. He's never handled the basketball because these things, the segment is how these things got forced. They forced Kevin Love into playing well. Dwayne Casey, what he did to LeBron in Dallas, forced LeBron to have the arsenal that he has now. When Kyrie Irving forced his way out of Cleveland, it forced LeBron to have to handle the ball more. So you're able to see some different things, but it's allowed us to see the best basketball because he's called on more to do that. He dribbles the ball more. He's got to rebound more, but his overall shooting efficiency, and he talked about this offseason, he had some type of injury to his elbow that he believed helped him correct something in his shot, that he believed his shot was better than ever. It's a confidence factor. Man, it's rare to be able to see this. Like, I saw Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan got done, we had conversations a lot like this. Like, man, I don't think I'll ever see another basketball player like this. And now we're having the same conversation with LeBron James.
And I'm going to make one request to whether it's NBA Twitter or folks on television or on the radio, anyone talking about the NBA. Do not call the Raptors today the baby dinosaurs. Do not talk about how this team was overrated or overstated. That's not what this is. This was a 59-win team that buttoned up all their deficiencies, that got themselves the best bench in the league, that has an all-NBA caliber shooting guard and a fringe all-NBA caliber point guard who had home court advantage, fully healthy after winning 59 games. This is not about them. It's about that guy right there. They can't beat him. They have never been able to beat him, and they will be added to the NBA graveyard of teams in the East, the Yeah Buts. Just the way the Big Three era with the Celtics ended. Just like the Derrick Rose era with Chicago never got off the ground. Just like the 60-win Hawks went into tank mode 2 years after winning 60 wins. Just like the Paul George, Roy Hibbert, Indiana Pacers, now the DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, Toronto Raptors. A whole bunch of, oh, they could have done it. Yeah, they could have, but they had to go through this guy. And nobody's been able to go through this guy in this conference for a decade. It was a great question, and it was a thoughtful, great answer. Because a lot of people look at LeBron's career as if the fork in the road was the decision to go to Miami. I've never thought that. I thought, at least with hindsight, the fork in the road was that Dallas series once he was in Miami. Because when he walked off the court after the Dallas coaching staff, as he talks about it there, made him do things he was not comfortable doing and not yet equipped to do. Up to that point in his career, he'd won 2 MVPs. He'd had the 48 special game against Detroit. He was already considered the best basketball player in the world. But he had glaring holes in his game. He had, against the coach's wishes, his own coaches, refused to learn how to post up. He had not gotten comfortable doing the things that now he is so great at. And when he walked off the court from that moment forward, and I've said this time and again on the show, I believe what he's put together is the greatest 7-year stretch, consecutive years, in the history of the sport. Since he walked off the court in that series, we talked about it last week, he's played 13 elimination games. He's 10-3 with 12 30-point games. The one non-30-point game was a triple-double in Game 7 of the finals. He has added a new wrinkle to his game every single year. He is somehow in better shape now than he ever was, and it's about that series. I think LeBron James, maybe his statistical or his finals record is better if they win that series against the Mavs, but I don't think he's a better player. I think it's better. It was better for LeBron to have that moment.
I disagree with you, because he was going to have some other moments. LeBron has always been about improving. It was going to be that moment, or it was going to be another moment, because there's other moments that improved his game. Even after they won the championship, that's when he went to the low post. It wasn't out of defeat. The greatest players, they always challenge themselves, and they utilize defeat as one of the challenges. But they don't have to have defeat in their life to be able to do that. That's what makes them great.
No, I was just going to say, finding what's going on in this postseason very refreshing. I'm learning more about LeBron. He seemingly wants to talk about how he's gotten here because more people want to ask about it. I didn't know that. I just didn't know that he was so aware, like you said, of where he is in his career now, of where he was, and how much he has changed his game. Usually when you're that talented, you don't have the wherewithal to want to change your game to take it to the next level.
And typically guys
get this shit in. Fuck out of here.
Because their body has demanded it.
Exactly.
So like when Michael Jordan came back from his first retirement, after he won the 3 rings, then he went to go play baseball, when he came back, he was still far and away the best basketball player in the world. But he was no longer the best clear-cut, raw athlete in the NBA.
He gets this shit in there. Come on.
And he came back with that mid-range turnaround. That was not a huge part of his game before, and it became the signature of his game for those final 3 rings. He evolved because his body demanded it. LeBron is showing us that athletically,
he get this shit.
90%
You know about that.
of what he was 10 years ago. That as far as stamina, he is as good as he's ever been, and he is now just adding new layers to what he can do. I do think I don't want to say turning point, but I think the biggest moment was not just defeat, but a defeat that was, see, that defeat was on him. It's one thing to lose. It's another thing to lose because you, in Game 5, have 8 points in the finals, when the moment's too big for you, and when your teammates step up and you don't. That level.
I think the biggest thing for LeBron was when he left Cleveland. He faced all the criticism, and at that point he realized that was a year where people tried to make him the villain. He tried to be the villain. He came back and said, you know something? I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be. That was before Dallas. That's what I believe changed his career.
I want to give all the credit in the world to Boston. I thought Kenny Smith on TV last night got it exactly right. I've never seen a team where the players seem more interchangeable. Where you lose Kyrie Irving and Terry Rozier gives you 95% of the production Kyrie Irving was giving. I'd never see that, where you lose Gordon Hayward 7 minutes into the year, and by the end of the year, Jason Tatum is giving you everything you could have hoped Gordon Hayward would be giving you. That when Marcus Smart went down earlier, Semi Ojeleye steps in and plays that role as well as he can. So Boston deserves an enormous amount of credit from the coach, from the GM, to the coach, to the players who have to go out there and execute, and they're undefeated at home in these playoffs, so maybe we should have seen them starting off this series well. But the other side of this is, and this is the concern for Philly, is the points he's been making all year long, which is Ben Simmons, as great as he is, he's going to need to learn how to shoot. Well, Boston...
Oh, no, that's not important in basketball. No, that's not important.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think anyone's ever doubted that shooting is important, but we saw Ben Simmons over the course of the year be extraordinary, have an all-time rookie campaign, despite not being able to shoot. Well, Boston has solved him thus far in these playoffs. They were minus 22 with Simmons on the court in a game that was only a 5-point game. So, like, the plus-minuses can be misleading at times, but when the game's only decided by 5 points, and one guy on your team, when he's out there for he played 30 minutes last night, you're outscored by 23, pardon me, not 22. Like, that's the story of the game. The Hornets ground to a halt when Ben Simmons was out there because of the way the Celtics were guarding him, and that is a concern for Philly no matter where these games are going to be played.
Yeah, you can't concentrate on the individuals during the season. Collectively, a team is trying to win one game. The scouting report is very, very limited. That's why the playoffs is totally different. So for me, this was the first time that Philadelphia looked like a young team. Not just because the result of the game, not because the way Ben did, but they had a big lead, and they tried to play at a pace. That's the only way the Celtics can get back in the game, is if Philadelphia keeps shooting hurried up, rush threes. And that's in the first half. Yeah. Like, they just kept shooting shots, just unabated, not even realizing, at some point you have to realize what the game is, the pace of the game. And they didn't think about that. That was the first time this playoff that I've seen them said, wow, that's a young team right there. There was another instance where the coach didn't call a timeout when the Celtics had a run. He thought they would play themselves out of it. But they're a young basketball team. Young basketball teams, it's hard for them to be able to play themselves out of a slump. So those two instances right there, and Ben Simmons and his inability to be able to get the ball in the bucket or play the type of game that they're playing, because Boston has decided this. He can shoot as many jump shots as he wants to.
Right.
We're going to overplay the three-point line for the other players. Now, he can dribble past me, which they're playing great.
OMG. Come on, bitch.
Now, you're talking about Ben Simmons can't shoot. He can't shoot outside of 5 feet. Right, and that is real. And you can see that in last night's game.
Just real quick to CC's point about the run, Philly had a 22-point lead with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. By 3 minutes left in the third quarter, so 15 game minutes, Boston was up 8. It was a 48 to 18 run. So it's not just come back from 22. It's erasing that deficit instantly. It is a game that Philly should have been in firm control of at halftime. It was, I think, a 4 or 5 point game at the half, and then Boston had taken an 8-point lead.
And they brought the crowd back.
Right, they got the crowd back in, absolutely. I mean, they instantly erased what should have been. You're not supposed to blow 22-point leads in the playoffs, even if you have them early in the game.
I want to ask you guys about Sixers head coach Brett Brown and his decision to put Ben Simmons back in when clearly T.J. McConnell was playing great and was far more productive for this Sixers team. Ben Simmons was clearly not playing great. And he puts him back in the fourth quarter, and we saw what happened. Do you have any issue, either of you, with that?
No, that's a legitimate question. But P.J. McConnell's P.J. McConnell. Like, if you... What's his name?
T.J.
When he gets good, you'll get up on P.J. I can put P.J. on it. I got you. Because there were times during the year you would question, man, why is he in the line? Why are they utilizing him? I thought the Colts was built his spot. I thought he would play more in. Now, he did have a burst. He had 5 minutes where he was unconscious. He did help them out. Got rebounds, got 2 quick buckets. But the reality is, Ben's been a star all year. He's a frontline player. He's your franchise. He's one of the faces of your franchise. He's a 6'10" point guard. So, yeah, in real time, you can sit there and nitpick and be like, oh, yeah. But if you've been watching the 76ers and you know who Ben Simmons and what he can do, and you know what PJ can do,
But TJ was plus 16 last night.
Listen, absolutely. And Simmons, they kept
totality of it, Jim.
Right. Just real quick, they kept him out as long as they could. Ben Simmons went out midway through the third, did not go back in midway through the fourth. That is not your regular rotation. He was supposed to go out midway through the third, come back at the beginning of the fourth. So they gave TJ as much time as they could have. But you cannot do the process and then in a critical moment keep your rookie off the court. No, he's got to go through this. Either for good or for bad, he needs to be out there. It is more important for Philadelphia long term that Ben Simmons either figure it out or deal with the fact that he couldn't. Because you don't draft injured players because you're waiting on a process. You don't draft Euros that aren't going to come over for a few years like Saric. Have Embiid play 30 games in 3 years. Have Simmons sit out the end of last year when he didn't have to. And then all of a sudden, disregard when you're in the crucible of the moment and say TJ McConnell gives us a better chance. And TJ McConnell was playing so over his skis. I think Brett Brown felt like he was so. Because I've talked about how you can't simply sag off Simmons. Like, we know Simmons can't shoot. So all year long when he was dominating people, you wondered, all right, so why don't you just lay off him? Just get that way he can't drive around you. He's so tall and such a great passer. If you lay off him, he has easier vision for the passing lanes, and he was cutting people up with that. What the Celtics have done is a hybrid of, we're going to guard you with a bigger person. We are going to lay off you, and we are going to clog up the passing lanes with our other defenders while also never helping off three-point shooters. And Ben Simmons it's the first time as a pro, he's found an equation he can't solve. He has been brilliant this rookie season. Against the Celtics, he has not been. And that's how can Philly get back in this series? And listen, they're down 12, but those games were on the road. Like, it's not the situation Toronto's in. Ben Simmons has to look like Ben Simmons looked the last 2 months of the season. Not just this whole rookie season, but particularly the last 2 months when he was extraordinary. Ben Simmons hasn't scored 20 points in a win since their game a month ago against Cleveland.
Well, why did the Celtics do anything different?
Well, I'm back at him exactly. The Celtics won't, but then you have to counterpunch as Philly to figure out what the weakness in their defense is.
The Celtics role players have played well at home. They played well at home throughout the playoffs, haven't lost a game at home, but they've been a different team on the road. And that's what's going to happen to Ben Simmons. They're going to play 2 games in Philadelphia. He'll get the home crowd. He'll be sleeping in his own bed. He'll get the good feeling back. All right? They will run some sets because it's important that Brett Brown be running some sets for him to get him some point-blank range shots. Also, they got to rebound the basketball better. If they rebound the basketball better, they can get out into the fast break where you don't need to call a play. He needs some time to be able to get his shot before the defense is able to get set up. The Celtics, one of the best, if not the best, team defense in the NBA. That has taken away they've taken him out of the transition, so that's what they have to do in games 3 and game 4. The Celtics role players, they've been a shell of themselves when they go on the road. I believe they'll be the same way. I believe we'll watch these 2 games in Philadelphia, and we'll get to game 5 and be like, well, I still think Philly's a better team than the Celtics.
Yeah, that it's most likely 2-2 when we play another game in Boston. CeCe's point about the home road splits. Celtics have played 6 home playoff games. They're 3 road playoff games. They're 0-3, and all the numbers indicate exactly what Chris is saying. I want to say one other thing about a Philly player. Joel Embiid, listen, if they're not going to double Embiid, he can't have 20 points on 22 shots. Like the Celtics have decided, we are not helping off three-point shooters. We are not going to let Bellinelli and Ilyasova and Covington kill us, much less J.J. Redick, who can get open on his own. Okay, if that's the case, Embiid needs to be putting up monster games. Like that is the quickest and easiest path to victory for Philly because that is what the Celtics defense is allowing. They're letting Baines or Horford guard Embiid one-on-one. Embiid's got to take better advantage of it than he has thus far in this series.
I don't know if it's necessarily psychological, but it kind of sits in the back of your mind when you lose to a team multiple years in a row. You're going against arguably, the greatest player to ever play the game. But I think it all starts with LeBron and Ty Lue kind of mixing and matching the lineups, putting Kevin Love at the 5 last night was big and underrated thing.
Sticking with it too, yeah.
Being able to get Valanciunas some pick and rolls, LeBron exploiting mismatches, kind of playing chess with the game, and then he got the fadeaway going, and it's ironic. Shoot around, Kevin Love talked about LeBron calling his spots out, basically saying that I'm gonna get the switch here, and he scored a few baskets over Kyle Lowry, he scored a few baskets over DeMar DeRozan, kind of went through the pick of the litter. But I think with him playing the 1 and being able to kind of direct things, he's gonna be hard to beat until he gets to the finals.
When LeBron's jumper's falling, there's no counterpunch, right? I mean, is there? You've been breaking it down great the last 20 minutes, but I've never seen one when LeBron's jumper's falling, a competent counterpunch defense. I mean, what did we see last night?
I don't know, honestly. I think that's his lock.
And you're a shot maker. You and Dane, bro, y'all make some shots.
Right.
Y'all cross some people over. Y'all stay on the highlights. What LeBron did last night, I haven't seen someone shoot like that, those types of shots, since Kobe.
Yeah, you could argue that Kobe hasn't done that. 8 fadeaway jumpers in a half, contested. I talked about the amount of space and watching his footwork, the amount of space he covers on his spin when he pivots and shimmies and either goes baseline or goes towards the middle. It's essentially unstoppable. I think that you have to, at some point, you see the double team, when he turns his back, because he's too good of a passer to see the double team coming. So I think you wait until, second dribble or third dribble, and you make somebody else beat you. You can't allow him to average 34, 9, and 9, throughout the entire playoffs. Make him get 30 and take away the -6, or make him pass and make obviously Kevin Love had 30 last night, but make the George Hills of the world, the other guys step up and make shots, which they're capable of. But would you rather have LeBron shooting or role players?
What Jen alluded to in the beginning, the psychological edge. Going into the playoffs, I thought the Pacers, I didn't think they'd take them 7. I thought the Pacers were potentially a tougher out than Toronto. And it wasn't because Toronto's not good. Toronto won 59 games. They got the best bench in the league. They're fully healthy. I just think DeRozan and Lowry had some players. I think they have a psychological hurdle with him. Like, are you laughing because you don't think that exists, or because you can see it?
I don't think it exists with them. I think watching them, knowing them, understanding the game, and kind of what's happened. Kyle Lowry started game 6 for 6. He had 18 points. Picked up his 3rd foul. Picked up his 4th foul. That kind of changed how he was playing from an aggressive standpoint. But you look at the numbers, they've been pretty efficient, pretty effective. They're scoring 20-plus points. Game 1 was pivotal. That game 1, Fred VanVleet had 2 great looks for 3. If they win game 1, no, we're not talking about a psychological advantage here. It may be a split 1-1 going back to Cleveland, which is pretty ideal because you can't win in Cleveland. But the fact that they lost that game, Lamar didn't take the mid-range jumper, which he normally takes, it was such a clutch decision.
I think the psychological is critical, especially coming from a professional athlete. I feel the same way about it. You could just be a bad man. When you're talking about the best of the best, it's hard to get in their head. LeBron is better than them. Even though the team's improved, they still haven't improved the amount of bodies they can send at LeBron. Their bench players, they can't defend LeBron. And just because they're the faces of the franchises, they get the criticism. How does Toronto get back in this? You mentioned double team LeBron. What else does Toronto need to do to be able to get at least a win in Cleveland?
I think looking at the rotation that they have in place, obviously, their coach has done a great job of playing the bench, extending 10, 11, 12 players. But when they have a chance to widen the gap or extend the lead, go up 10, go up 15, I think you keep DeRozan or Lowry in the game at all times. I think you change the rotation a little bit in the sense that you play your bench players, but you keep one of them in the game to allow them to either get a rhythm, extend their rhythm, or stay hot. Because game 1, they were up 10, 15 points, and that's your chance. That's your chance to close the door. You keep one of those guys in, extend the lead, and then when LeBron goes LeBron mode in the 4th quarter, it's a bigger advantage.
CJ, we've seen 2 different Cavaliers teams so far this postseason. LeBron has been the constant in both. We've seen one without any role player production and one with role player production. And when the role players show up, and I'm not even being mean here, when the role players show up, they look like a complete team. We're a fairly complete team, especially when you get 31 out of Kevin Love like you did last night. Which team do you think we see moving forward now? Do you think they got over the hump and all the other role players are going to now step up?
I think they get out of the Eastern Conference and it'll be a different story when they get to the finals. But I think they get out of the Eastern Conference regardless of role players stepping up. LeBron's good enough to.
So the same team that played the Pacers that could easily get through to the Eastern Conference?
I think they're good enough to win because LeBron will empower them. Kevin Love will be more consistent. I don't know if he'll get 30 every night, but he'll be able to get you 18.
You like those moments. You think you make those shots. And JR, you feel more. Take that, please. Please take a dribble, pump fake, have a guy coming at you, and then fade to the side. Like, that's his shot.
Yeah, he's been playing terrific for them. You look at his efficiency these last couple games, and you talked about the half-court shot. In that Pacers series, that half-court shot he hit was essentially the difference in the game. Mm-hmm. And people complained about him not passing the ball to Bron at the end of that game. It was about 3 seconds left. If he passes that ball, they probably don't even get a shot off. So you got, like you said before, I like him shooting step backs. I like him shooting pump fake threes, but his catch and shoot three is underrated.
You talked about Cleveland would get through the East, so let's get to the finals. Cleveland, you don't have them good enough. Who do you have coming out of the West, and who do you have winning?
That's tough. I didn't say Cleveland's not good enough. Anything can happen in the playoffs. I just think that it's going to be tough to beat a Western Conference team with inconsistent play from the rest of the squad. They can't play how they played up to this point and beat a Western Conference team, whoever comes out. But I think it's going to be tough. I think the Warriors have the depth. They have the health now with Steph Curry getting the game under his belt and essentially seeming like he's back to his old self, if not better, more efficient. The Houston Rockets are playing well. They dropped the game at home, but I think they'll tighten up the ship a little bit and make some adjustments and eventually get through that series. But I think it's going to be an interesting Western Conference finals game, but I probably have the Warriors advancing.
Have you ever, I apologize for not knowing this, gone through a stretch similar to what Kevin Love was going through prior to last night?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Love was 15 of 56 in his last 5 games. And it's tough. And a lot of them were good looks. He wasn't just shooting range shots. A lot of those were within 5 feet. At some point just struggle beget more struggle? Like, how do you break out of it? Like, Love broke out of it last night because the Cavs were force feeding him. They were either going to lose that game or they were going to get Kevin Love back on track. Like, take us through what Kevin Love was going through.
Yeah, I went through a few slumps this season, and people were asking about it, writing articles about, like, this is the longest slump of your career, 6 games of shooting 36 or 35% from the field. And I'm like, look, man, I've been through a lot worse than poor shooting nights. I think it's more about continuing to do the work, studying film. I broke down every mid-range shot I took, every pick and roll, every three-pointer, look at the form, and chart the misses and the makes. I think Kevin Love probably went through a similar thing to where he's looking like, I'm missing, paint shots. I know I can make those. Let me focus on these three-pointers. Let me get some free throws to find my rhythm, get to the line early, and then establish that rhythm. I think that's what he did. He got a backdoor cut for a dunk. He got to the free throw line, and then when you shoot that first three-pointer, it's not your first shot of the game. And I think that's how he essentially got out of it, and that's how I got out of the slump. And just try to be aggressive and understand that everything will even itself out.
CJ, it's a shame that you don't really know that much about basketball, because if you did, I feel like we would learn so much more from you. Tell us about your podcast.
Yeah, I launched a podcast about 5 weeks ago. It's called Pull Up. You can subscribe on this camera. You can subscribe anywhere, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. Basically talk about the NBA, things that are enjoyable to me, like my Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield being drafted. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. Talk about different wines I'm drinking. We got a lot of great Pinot Noirs in Oregon. Talk about current events, and my co-host is Jordan Schultz, and we're bringing on guests slowly. D-Wade was my first guest, and we kind of put a hold on guests because of the fact that we are in the NBA playoffs, but I'll have a lot of guests, entrepreneurs, businessmen and women.
And it's called?
It's called Pull Up.
Pull Up.
Okay. If you go to the podcast store or iTunes store, you don't even have to type in your full name. Pull Up, it'll be the first thing that comes up. I know Jordan a little bit. I'm also a podcast nerd. It's awesome. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know anything about wine, but everything else I'm into it.
I'll send you something. Give me your address.
Okay, I appreciate that. Also, CC's usually one getting the free stuff on the show.
I got
Take that. The NBA Community Assistant. You've been nominated for it. I would imagine for you up there with any accolade you've been nominated for as a professional athlete. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. I'm honored to be nominated for. I think this is my second year, and being able to take advantage of the platform I have, give back to kids who look like me and come from places like me. Understanding that I have a partnership with the Boys and Girls Club where I launched the C.J. McCollum Dream Center, which is basically a safe place where I renovate the room. I provide laptops, computers, coding classes, instructions, and we potentially give out jobs. So just being able to provide different things kids would normally experience. And then being a journalism major, I launched CJ's Press Pass a few years ago, where it's a young journalism mentorship program to where basically teach young kids what it's like to be a journalist, invite them to a game, allow ESPN, different companies to kind of mention them at a game, and just basically showing them that there's a lot of things out there, and besides the people who speak about sports, the people behind the scenes, the cameras, and everything, so they get to see all of that.
CJ, it's very impressive. You're doing so much with the time that you have within basketball and without, and outside of it, obviously.
If you need an internship for one of your kids, FS1, we can do it right here in New York City, or I can send
No celebration props today? I don't
Go ahead,
know what
little
happened.
time. Joe, you saw some of the pictures I posted. Joe, happy little time.
You know, I tell you,
Wait, we had some egomania going
no. Our friend Shane here was treating himself. Treat yourself weekend for Mr. Sharp.